screen sharing to let him start the camera. This is
okay.
Hello.
When you put yes, when you put this is inside your container.
Ez a container a doboz belsejében van.
Igen, az aljában.
Yes, it is at the bottom of that container.
Ott volt. De az érdekes az, hogy kivettem, és csak akkor is alakultak ki.
But it's interesting, he has taken that out and still that vortexes were still forming. They didn't stop when he has taken out that coil. So Zoltan has taken out the figure 8 and still the fields were standing in the same place.
Could you ask again what the combination of ganses were?
Elmondanád még egyszer, milyen GANS kombinációt használtál?
Hát ez ahogy az ecsetekről lekerült, de ebben van pár csepp olom.
It has a few drops of lead.
CH3, CO2.
A lot of CH3, CO2.
Molybden.
A little molybden gas.
Nem is olyan kicsi.
So molybden gas, not small quantity. He used all the hard drive disk plate for making such a molybden gas.
Van zinkoxid, hát ugye.
It has zinc oxide, grace oxide.
Az persze.
Copper oxide, of course.
Akkor alumínium.
Aluminium. Tegnap említettél neodímiumot is. Tettél bele mágnest is?
Nem, ezért tettem ezüstöt meg az arany.
Also he put silver and gold.
De ez, lényegében ez csak maradék, mert ez...
These are just traces, not big quantities.
Mert ahogy az ecsetet lemostam.
So these are just the traces as he washed the brush. What came out of the brush was maybe containing some traces of gold and silver gas.
Na most a legközelebb megpróbálom akkor a külön-külön ganszokkal, mert azok külön edényekben vannak.
Ugyan. The project, Zoltan will try to repeat the experiment with separate ganses, not the mixed ones.
Sander, one thing was in the pictures which I received was that these boxes are 3 meters away from his MAGRAPH system. Can we see the MAGRAPH system, please?
Yeah,
yes,
one more thing.
He has a MAGRAPH system made by himself on the top of his refrigerator, which is 3 meters away from the table where this box was.
Mr. Cash was curious about the interval between the boxes and the MAGRAPH system and the distance.
3 meters between these boxes.
To have a visual view of the MAGRAPH and the distance, if that was possible.
Carolina asszonyság szeretne tudni, tehát tolmácsolja Cash úrnak a kérését, hogy pontosan hogyan is nézett ki az elrendezés, hogy hol voltak a szobában ez az edény, a MAGRAPH, a működő MAGRAPH, a szétszedett MAGRAPH és a dobozok az ablakban.
A doboz nem az ablakban volt, a doboz az az asztalon.
So I try to draw according to the description. So if this is the room, so here is a table, and here is the refrigerator. Tehát lerajzoltam, hogy itt bal oldalt van az asztal, itt jobb oldalt a hűtőszekrény.
30%-át értem.
Because when I saw the pictures first coming up with that explanation with it, me and Mr. Kesh thought that this pattern was formed because he implemented the distance between the maggraph and the boxes.
3 méter.
So, tolmácsolom, Caroline asszonyság mondta, hogy Cash úr gondolta, hogy egy bizonyos távolság volt a dobozok és a maggraph között, ahova ez el lett helyezve, és ezt hozta létre. Az ablakban levő genszes dobozok még ott voltak?
Hát a CO2 meg a rézoxid, ami, és azon kívül, hát CO2 az van legalább 3 üvegbe.
So he has further gases, he has further gases here near the window. So various gases here. So this is the position. Maybe I have to change the color to something more visible. I have to choose the solid square. So here he has various gases. And here he has that timer with gas mixture. And here he has the maggraph.
I think part of the question was, where was he standing? Is that part of what you're saying, Caroline?
No, what
Direction of the
we understood was how it came was I received 2 pictures with this pattern in it, and title, this is 3 meters away from the maggraph system. So my first thought was, Mr. Kesh, this might be interesting to look at it, because I think the indication is that the pattern which are created in the GANS boxes or in the GANS liquid is because of the influence of the maggraph system, which is 3 meters away. And we wanted to find out if that was indeed correct, and if we could get a visual from it.
So I'm trying to draw it up. He has no separate movable camera, just on the laptop, and it's quite difficult to show around. So this may be 1.5 meters.
That literally the movements in the boxes were created by the maggraph.
Zoltan wanted to say something. Zoltan?
Tehát nincs 1,5 méter a doboz és az ablakpárkány között, csupán csak egy olyan jó durván 60-80 centi.
Sorry, I have to correct some data.
80 centi.
About
1 métert mondhat.
0.80 meter to 1 meter. So here was a smaller distance and there was a bigger distance. And if you see this from the bottom up, I mean from the side, in that case here is a window, he has a shelf where he has various gases, here is a table, here he did this mixture of gases, and here is the refrigerator, and the maggraph is on the top of the refrigerator. So from here to here it's 3 meters, and here it's roughly about 1 meter or less.
Okay, if you can ask the gentleman maybe to restart, if that is possible, from before, and then maybe take a video when everything starts moving, not in picture form, but in a visual that you can see when the field starts building up.
Caroline tolmácsolta Cash úrnak a kérését. Szeretné azt, hogyha reprodukálni tudod, tehát ugyanazokat a műveleteket, ugyanazokon a helyeken, ahogy ezt korábban csináltad, Zoltán.
Értem?
És közben ne fix fotókat, hanem kamerával mozgóképet vegyél föl, hogy lehessen látni, hogy indul el a mozgás.
Because Rick is indicating the time. Be careful. He was keep on pointing out to look at the picture and the time frame. So it is important with the speed this is forming. Maybe this can be achieved by or in a short video.
Tehát itt az időnél itt ugye más időpontokban történtek a felvételek, egy videó viszont ezt pontosabban mutatná. Hogy milyen ütemben, milyen ritmusban, milyen sebességgel zajlottak le az események.
Hát mondjuk azt a legelső kondíciót nem fogom tudni, mert akkor szét kell szerelnem a magravot.
First condition, it's hard to reproduce because he had a second magrev, which he put it here on the table, and he has taken it apart to place its coils, to put its coil into this soup. So this is harder to reproduce, but he will try to do as much as possible.
Van más tekercse, megpróbálom más tekercse.
He has another coil, he will try with another coil, not with that magrev, because now he fixed that magrev and he put it in order, all is assembled. He doesn't want to break it apart again.
You can try this with one maggrav unit. Just bring the maggrav unit in between where all your GANs are and the box of the container. It will still, because your maggrav, it's like gravitational.
Zoltán, Armen azt javasolja, hogy azt a másik magravot, még akkor is, ha működik, csak tedd ugyanoda, ahol volt, anélkül, hogy szétszednéd.
Hát nem szedem szét, persze.
He will not take it apart, but he will try to put it in the same place near to the box to replicate the same condition.
No, all I'm asking, he have two magravs, but now he can try with one magrav, which is sitting on a refrigerator. He can move it in between the GANs and a box container mixture that he has.
So shall he move the box with the GANs near to the working magrav, which is wired?
Or he can put the extension cord and bring the magrav in between.
I understand. Armen javaslata, hogy esetleg a működő magravot lehetne a közelébe tenni.
Hát az, figyelj csak.
Az be van kötve.
Hát az, ami 3 méterre van, az ott volt, és az ott is maradt.
So this, which is at 3 meters distance, this was fixed and stable. So this was there in that position at the beginning. So it's no need to bring it closer. It was at 3 meters during this accidentally observed experiment.
A másik magrav az átkerült a főzőfülkébe, ha emlékszel, ahol írja ott, hogy Ganses. Fent. Na attól egy kicsit még fennebb, egészen a bal felső sarkába, ha megjelölöd, ott van a másik magrav.
So this second magrev now is moved into another room here. Is another room somewhere this position. It's behind the wall.
Tehát én azt megtehetem, hogy kiveszem onnan, és oda teszem a doboz mellé, a doboznak a bal oldalára.
So he can do that, he will move this magrev and he will put it here where it was when he observed this on 26th. So this magrev was moving, this magrev too, and he can move it again and with the extension cord and to put it here again on the table.
Every experiment, every test will be welcome to see how things are moving, and it will be very nice. Thank you very much, Mr. Zoltan.
Minden kísérlet nagyon értékes lesz, amivel ugye meg lehet mutatni, hogy mitől kezd el mozogni valami. Köszönjük szépen, Zoltán.
Nagyon szívesen.
So it's his pleasure to do this. So you are always welcome. Everybody is welcome.
Thank you very much. Rick, do we have anyone else? And thank you for the translation, Sander. Do we have anyone else to show something that came up?
We do have. Sorry, go ahead. Is that?
Oh, it's Marco. Hello, it's Marco here in Australia. Can I ask a question to Armand, please? Is it possible?
Yes.
Yes, Armand. I'll just show you my reactor that I'm preparing. Can I start my video?
Yes, correct. Okay. If Rick allows you.
No, I don't know you at all, I don't think. Have I met you before?
Not met you, no. I'm one of the one-year students, and
okay, well, generally, like I posted in the chat, we go through a vetting process because we've had too many surprises, and I don't know who you are and what you're going to present.
That's all right. Can I just ask the question?
Like if you have for example, if you just have background music playing or something, then that can interfere with our broadcasts and so on. So there's certain things we have to sort of go through. We vet the presentations or whatever, but it's kind of an unusual time right now, so I'm not sure how to proceed with that.
Well,
what do you think?
Rick, today is everybody's presenting their magravs, their connections, and their GANs. So
right, so we should open it up.
Show it because it is video, and he's done it, and he's showing from his house. I don't think we have any problems to do that.
Okay, thanks, Armin, for the confirmation on that. So go ahead. Do you know how to? I'll stop the screen share, and do you know how to start your video and so on? Okay, let me get it set up here. You're on. I see your video's on now. And,
yep, I'm just going to put the camera on.
Let me. Oops, I have to get it on my second screen right there, and then we can spotlight. Okay, yes, your camera's on you right now. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you wanted, but that's what's happening. Or did you have another camera that you wanted to show?
No,
I'll just turn.
It's perfect.
You can see very good. I'll turn my computer to what I've got here.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
Okay. I've set up, talking with George and Vakhtang, we set this system up, which has got a container here for our gases, our liquid plasma. And I've set up a little plastic tube here, which will hold a plastic ball like that. Okay. Stay there. So we'll glue that, connect that there. And we'll have a ping pong ball as the inner core, like that. One inside the other like that, forming our Caroline core. Okay. And the black ping pong ball connected to a shaft like this. So that one will rotate clockwise, one will rotate anti-clockwise. Okay. And that will sit about there. And that obviously is holding our liquid plasma. Now, the question I had, because I had a long discussion with George and Vakhtang, to resolve the problem of these, filling these, when you fill them up with liquid. If I fill this up with my liquid GANs, let's say this, I'm going to set it up with CH3. So I'd set this with my liquid CH3 GANs, let it sit there, and then remove it. So that would carry the field strength of CH3, correct?
Correct. If it's
and I'll do a similar process.
Please,
sorry?
then nanocoat your cores.
Yes, yes, nano-coated.
Yeah, when you nano.
And I'll do the same. Sorry?
Well, I'm saying when you nanocoat it, whatever field you apply on it, it will carry that field. But so you still you can rotate dry GANs. So if you can rotate dry GANs.
Okay. The question I was
just if you are doing the test, you have a capability to do, just put a little bit dry gas in one of the cores, one core, just make it liquid gas. See what's the interaction in between. How you going to interact? You have right now outside core, just put dry CH3.
Okay. So you're saying to put the dried CH3 in the outer core, okay, to set the conditions for the outer core. If I just use the field strength of CH3 in the core and the field strength of this and my inner core when I set my ganses up with this, and I rotate these, is that going to work as a concept instead of just having a liquid in there? So I'm rotating my two cores. Instead of having liquid in there, I have them set up with the field strength of whatever ganses I want to set in there.
Yes, correct.
Do you understand what I mean?
Just I understand what you're saying, but I understand whatever you apply to your nano-coated materials to carry the fields, you start to rotate them, you're gonna open up the fields. It's the same way that the liquid is in there, or it's a now like a vapor. If you have a vapor plasma, when you apply that vapor, where it goes, it will be absorbed with your nanomaterial, so it will stay over there. That's why, you know, if you heard, I explained, if you have your cores nano-coated only and you have your capacitors, so you know exactly what kind of fields you are directing into your coils. Do you understand?
Okay.
So
That's fine.
So
because I was trying to eliminate the problem of having liquid in the cores and having to seal them so the liquid doesn't come out when we rotate them.
yeah, but try with liquid first, because that's in the matter state that you can see right now. Then you will understand you don't need all this equipment to create a rotation in a plasma in the air by your thoughts. So we're not there right now. That's why just try to put now liquid, understand what liquid is going to bring you, what kind of fields is going to bring you, what kind of interactions you can create from it. Then you will go to next step to understanding what's if you apply that to your nano coating material, the fields are still there. So you can try that too. I'm not saying, but you know, just try to understand first liquid, because a lot of people, they don't understand liquid. Maybe you could show so much beauty in that, a lot of people will be amazed. So that's my point. But you don't need to rotate, you know, inside core. When you rotate and it's loose inside, and when you have a certain speed, it will just rotate it in the middle, your core.
Okay, so that would end up sitting in the inside of this core rotating without having it connected via my
if this blue core, you are rotating the blue core inside the that orange ball, it will start the rotation. Its own.
Okay.
Well, to understand, Armand, for everybody else who's working the same way this gentleman is working, do they have to nanocoat their material even before they use their GANS waters?
No, you don't have to. No.
Can you make the differentiation between when they have to nanocoat and when they don't have to?
If you want it, hold it. Let's say if you create a nanomaterial, that means when you apply the GANS field on it, so it's going to stay there. When you have a when you have a matter, you keep the plasma inside.
Because I see a lot of people having confusion when they have to nanocoat and when they don't have to nanocoat.
Try both. You know, I'm not going to say it. What's the difference? Otherwise, the interest, it will be lost. So
well, in the old days, the number one rule of the reactors that Mr. Kesh was describing, the ones that mostly use gases at the time, the various combinations of gases, was don't let the plasma touch the walls of the container, the actual physicality, you know, element, physical stuff of the walls. Otherwise, that will destroy the plasma. So you have to find a way to either keep the plasma in the center so it doesn't touch the walls, or create walls which repel the plasma or keep it, you know, centered in the center. Or perhaps with plasma water, we're in a different situation where maybe it doesn't lose its fields to the surface of the inside of the sphere as easily as you know, as the plasmas that were worked with the initial reactors.
Thank you, Rick.
Something to be still investigated there. Maybe there's others that may have some input on that.
But Armin was also right. Mr. Kesh is pushing them to do them in all the different ways: protected, non-protected, nano-coated, non-nano-coated, to see how people come with different results. The one advice, please, I will give to everyone: make sure when you start building, know what you're building and what for you're building it. Make sure your intentions are there the right way for what you want to achieve, and please give to your system. Don't always want to take from your systems. Make sure they can flourish and they can give.
One of the most surprising things I heard from Mr. Kesh a few years ago, which really stuck with me, is before we started talking about this feeling with the reactors and so on, he said when he works with his reactors and he starts them maybe hundreds of times a day or dozens of times a day, these gaseous reactors he was working with in Iran and so on, he said he would pray to his reactors every time he would start one. He would say, "I hope you're going to have as much fun with this as I am today." And I thought, wow, that's what a way to you know, open up to this environment, to just say, you know, we're going to do this with joy and with intention, and you know, let's do it, basically. So I thought that was very important, and it was only a few years later that, and only in the last maybe year or so, that we started to investigate more and more this relationship between the operator of these reactors and the actual operation of the reactor, the relationship between the plasmas of the entities involved. So,
We dropped out.
okay,
We dropped out.
nope, I think we're okay.
We just went.
Oh, that's what happened there. Sorry, I see. Thanks, Vince.
So guys,
Okay.
try everything, you know, try to understand how the, look around you, how the universe is made. All spherical. You don't need much of the GANs, you just need a little bit in the liquid to see the interaction. Because now you bring the, you know, plasma into the liquid, which it brings to totality, a sphere.
I think Armin and Rick and so many other people, I think when Rick was explaining about every time before he goes in, he goes very quiet before he even touches the reactor, because people have to stand still and realize you're creating, you are creators. So be aware what you create and be prepared to give, not just there to receive. Because your reactors, as Jordan was explaining and so many others, it's giving. Just make sure your reactors will achieve the connections we all want to create more balance all over the planet, and we can do it. But just be aware when you're creating, starting from scratch, starting from zero, make sure you're intuitive, know to apply that extra pepper and salt, as we say, your feeling, your good intent, and I think we're all going to be fine.
Well put, Caroline. I'm wondering if we should maybe end it for today, or shall we carry on here? It's been almost 4 hours into it now.
Yes, guys, it's late. I have to go sleep, and early morning I have to wake up. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you all. Thank you, Armin. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Vince. Thank Sander. Thank our teams all over, wherever they are. I cannot name every single one because the list is too long. So many people just are adding and adding, and it's getting very busy everywhere. Thank you for all your contribution, all your tips, and it doesn't stop. We just carry on.
And thank you too, Caroline, for your work, especially with the council on Facebook and so on there. There's so many messages coming and going. It's like Grand Central Station, and you're sort of in the middle of that, directing it there. So thank you for doing that and all the other work that you do in the background that we don't hear about a lot of the time. So, and thanks for hosting today. That was delightful to have your presence here. And
you're quite welcome. And you're right, Rick. Actually, I have a relationship with all of you in one or another way. I'm trying to make sure people get into the right point of knowledge, what they're looking for. I have great news because a lot of times it doesn't get mentioned because we are overlooking the normal running of the foundation all over this planet. Is I'm welcoming the Spanish team, which have really got a nice, good start in their workshops. They had the first one last week. I'm still waiting for more pictures to come in to share. I've witnessed the workshops from Farad, which are brilliant. I hope he can support a lot of more other countries with the same way of working, and then the Spanish helping the other ones. There is a door opening in Mexico I have seen through a certain person named called Don. He was the person who was looking and trying to save the life of the dog in Mexico. And we have seen nice pictures coming up from Holland, Netherlands. They are into the workshops heavy as well. I've seen the pictures coming up. I'm trying to coordinate with Stanley how to give each one of you your platforms where you can present your teachings, your workshops, your sharing. I have noticed that every single person has gone home with a working MAGRaph. So every single MAGRaph has been tested before they left the workshops. Thank you so much for all your hard work. These are all the little things which are never getting mentioned. There are so many teachers everywhere. I think Norway will start stepping up as well now. I've been talking in the background to see where we can have maybe an English teaching but subtitled in the languages. I have to thank so many thanks to the translators. We have in the 80 languages and it's growing. There are more and more people coming up to help, to participate for more distribution in that people can understand it.
Caroline, in that way, I'd like to mention too about the transcriptions and the subscripts and captions and so on, especially for the Knowledge Seekers workshops. We have transcriptions, but we need to get them put into the subscript caption form where it's timed and can be put onto the YouTube videos. Then we have all the English on the video, and then we can put the languages on that very easily after that. So it's a tedious process to time each one and to double check all that and so on. So there's room for some people to participate in that. And if they get a hold of me or Stanley, then they can help participate after they're cleared with our security and so on. So that's another addition there. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to add that.
No, no, no. You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome, Rick, because it is important. They are struggling for people to get people who know what they're doing. This is not an easy job. It might sound easy, but it's not. I put a circularity out to collect more translators in different levels. If you could give me later on or whenever you have time, where they can get in touch with you and Stanley and the other people for certain jobs. If you can give me like a list that I can post out, we can together reach a lot of people that might have never thought that they're capable of doing these jobs, or they have a temporary some room to do and give a hand. So we're all sharing, and it would be very nice if people can start sending in more footage, more short videos. Try to get the light very clear that we can see clearly what you try to show to us. You can pass them to me, you can pass them to other members of the foundation, but make sure, first of all, or last of all, that they're landing with Rick. Please don't open your cameras, don't share unless you get really the permission from Rick to go into public. I know you're there with your good heart. I know you're there to share, but don't jeopardize that. Then we have to create so much extra work for like Rick to redo the whole thing for nothing. Just one slice, small mistake can really create so much extra work for all our technical people, which is actually not needed. So please send a mail or send a text or post before you open your cameras. Make sure Rick is okay with it or your hoster is okay with it before you share, because we are on a public platform. Then we have to shut everything down. It takes hours of delay before everyone else can enjoy the teaching. When, if nothing goes wrong, it straightway goes into public and it can stay there safe. Thank you very much for all your contribution from everyone.
Boy, that was really clear. Thank you very much, Caroline. That's exactly what the situation is, basically, yes. Okay, shall we wrap it up for today then? And people who still have other presentations, well, there's next week for sure, and let's get it organized through this week and have another great show next week.
One thing before you close down, Rick, please. Remember, we are in the holiday period going in, but we are on standby. If anybody has any results, please make sure we receive them. Mr. Kesh will have a look at it and we will go live with it. So please bring your contribution. Thank you very much and enjoy your holidays.
Thank you, Caroline.
It's the holidays, it's time to get to work. I think, and get our various reactors happening, and I think it's time to get on the fast track and make this all proceed a little faster progress.
You know, you said that. It made me laugh, Rick, because that's exactly what Mr. Kesh said. It's holidays coming, he says, and his work is going to start.
Where the real work begins, yeah.
Yes. Have a nice suntan. Don't stay in the basements or the kitchens to do your cooking of your ganses. Enjoy it. That's more important than anything else. Goodbye.
Life is a Gans, eh? Okay, thank you everybody. I'm going to end the live stream now. This has been the 124th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Thursday, July 28th, 2016. And we'll stop the live stream. Thanks everybody in live stream as well. I wish I could see the questions there more, but we get too busy in other things.